Are we live? Hold on. Can y'all see me? This freaking lighting is so bad. Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk, back at with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about whether or not the Chicago Bulls are title contenders this season. So, to begin off with my talk, I'm going to give off a couple scenarios on what makes a team a title contender. I'm going to give off three scenarios on what makes a team a title contender. And I'm going to give off a couple teams, the top teams who I think are title contenders and who will be competing in the playoffs. So, we're going to be starting off whether the Bulls are title contenders. So personally, I don't think the Bulls are exactly there yet as title contenders because even though Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are playing at elite levels, I feel like I still got to see some more. The last game against the Orlando Magic, the Bulls pretty much was not playing all that well. They allowed the Orlando Magic to stay within the game. They weren't going down low, crashing boards. They're allowing Franz Wagner, even though he was one of my favorite players from coming out of Michigan, Franz Wagner, great player. This team is still in rebuilding mode. And the Bulls, they definitely have some stuff that they need to address. And even today, Arturas Karnisomas, they interviewed him on Molly and Hall. And Arturas was talking about how he likes what he sees from the team. He's liking what he's seeing, with the chemistry. He wants the team to build a lot of chemistry. And he likes the fact that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Ayo Dosunmu. I'm good. How are you doing? Hold on for a second. Sorry about that. But anyway, guys. So Arturo was talking about how this team, how he likes what he sees from the team. How they're able to build chemistry, how Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, how the whole team, they're just gelling together, how they're able to gel together from the jump, and how they were able to play without any types of egos, not allowing any egos to get in the way, not allowing Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, because we already know this is a competitive NBA league, and sometimes egos can sometimes get in the way, because when you're playing in a high or one of the highest positions in basketball, which is the NBA, or just any sport, NFL, NBA, tennis, when you're playing one of the highest positions in sports, there are going to be a whole lot of guys that are going to have egos. And so the fact that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, Ayo Dosunmu, who's coming from Illinois, Illinois, so Fighting Illini, who's just being honored today. They were going to retire his jersey. How each and every player was able to play their role respectively. From the stars all the way down to the role players, each and everybody is able to play their role respectively. And I'm liking this group so far. Even though we're number one, I still feel that the Bulls, they got some work to do, They got a whole bunch of work to do. First off, number one, what I feel like the Bulls need to improve on is more so recognizing the types of zone plays that a lot of teams run on them. And that's what they're kind of weak on. This is what happened with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat was able to expose some of the plays that they run because they run like some type of zone defense against the Bulls, and the Bulls, they don't really have an answer for that type of defense. And so the Bulls, they really need to work on their kinks and their adjustments in game. Because teams that play that type of zone defense against the Bulls end up losing most of the time. And case in point, the Miami Heat, like I said, the Miami Heat beat them twice based off of that. And the fact that they were able to crash boards, they're able to get boards. The Bulls need to be more aggressive in getting to the boards. They need to be more aggressive in getting those second chance points. They need to be more aggressive in making decision-making plays, knowing when a shot's not going in or the three-point shot is not going in. They need to start driving in, making mid-range shots. If they can't go in the hole, make those mid-range shots. They got to make those finish at the point of attack, finish at the lane, finish in the paint. Because when you know your three-point shot's not going in, you need to make those type of adjustments. And that's kind of been a problem with the Bulls, even though like they've kind of been good in the first half, especially when they're playing lower tier teams. But like sometimes when it comes to the second half, they just take, how should I say it? Like they take the foot off the gas pedal in some type of ways. And that's something that the Bulls need to work on. Like they can't take their foot off the gas pedal. At times they do that. And even when they're playing good teams, like they just go on a serious cold streak. Now, granted, like the Bulls, they're one of the teams that lead in the fourth quarter. But at times, like against that Portland Trailblazers game, they blew that game. And then, of course, they almost blew that game against the Orlando Magic. What else? They didn't play so well against the Washington Wizards, even though they won on a game winner. I was really happy about that. And even the Indiana Pacers, for most of the game, the Indiana Pacers was killing them on the boards. They're killing them in second chance points. They're killing them in rebounds because, of course, they have size. In terms of matching up, the Indiana Pacers really match up well against the Bulls. And also with the Wizards, they also match up well against the Bulls. They had 72 points against them in the paint, which they really need to work on. Like I said, they really need to work on their second chance points. They need to work on finishing in the hole when they know their three-point shot's not going in. And then also, like I said, making adjustments, making the right time adjustments, understanding the type of defenses that opposing teams are throwing at them, and not always playing a certain style of offense that teams recognize. And when they recognize it, they just stick to that, And that's what the Bulls need to work on. Another thing that they need to do is that I need to what else? I need to see more from Nikola Vucevic. I know DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, they're carrying more of the heavy load, but I need to see more from Nikola Vucevic. I understand that he's kind of playing a lesser role, but at times, like, he just needs to kind of step up, even though he has been stepping up a little bit. I just feel like he just kind of needs to take that next level, in order for this team to become like true title contenders, because in terms, when I mean by stepping up, I mean in terms of like scoring, because at times when Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan, when they're going on cold streaks, Nikola Vucevic, he kind of needs to pick up the slack. He needs to pick up that slack, when they're struggling. Like I said, case in point with the Orlando game, when DeMar DeRozan was struggling shooting, he was 5 for 24. Or like when Zach LaVine, he was kind of struggling, even though he had like 35 points that game, he was kind of struggling. Nikola Vucevic, he kind of needs to pick up the pace. He needs to pick up on his shooting efficiency and kind of carry that load when he's seeing that his team, or when his team is kind of going on slumps. Now, granted, even though you got some bench players, I'm going to get to the bench players too, because I'm also going to be talking about them. But granted, like even though Nikola Vucevic has been like the number one scoring option for the Orlando Magic, I know his role kind of changed, but at times he just kind of has to pick up the slack and just help out his teammates, you know. And also with the bench, um, I feel like with the bench, especially Kobe White has stepped up tremendously for the past couple games. You know, those last two games, you know, with the Atlanta Hawks, he's played really well, even though his defense is crap. But in terms of his scoring efficiency, he's very efficient. I believe he's averaged 17 and a half points per game the last 5 or 6 games. And he's really picked up the scoring load, especially with Alex Caruso being out. Kobe White has definitely picked up the slack. And at first, I was kind of on the fence of the Bulls trying to trade for him to try to get at least a forward, because we definitely need a forward or another big man, presumably DeMarcus Cousins. But that's another day for another video. But presumably, I thought that we were just going to trade Kobe White. And the fact that he's been stepping up, I feel like Kobe White could be a key cog in this team trying to get further in the playoffs, whether it be the Eastern Conference Finals, whether it be the finals, how far they go. I feel like Kobe White could be like a key cog or a key piece, you know, on the bench, because we definitely need a scoring option on the bench, like a six man, in order to be like a championship contender. And I feel that any team, they need a third or fourth scoring option on the bench, the number one scoring option on the bench if they ever want to contend. Because granted, your star players, they're going to get their points, but at certain points, they're going to get tired. And you're going to need your bench players to step up, especially during key games in the playoffs. You're going to have to need your bench to step up. And Kobe White, he could be that potential piece to help us get over the hump. Or you just need any type of scoring option, depending on whatever championship team. Usually, a lot of championship teams, they usually have a viable six-man option. Look at the Golden State Warriors. They had Sean Livingston. Look at the Spurs. They had Manu Ginobili. Look at the Chicago Bulls of the past 90s. They had Tony Kukoc. Look at the Lakers of the 2000s. They had Robert Horry. They had all these key pieces on the bench that could be a scoring option on them in case their star players ever got tired or they ever needed to take a break. And you're going to need a key piece to help you get over the hump. And Kobe White, he could be that potential key piece, because from years past, the last 2 years, it was always Zach LaVine and Kobe White. There are our number 1 and 2 scoring options besides Lauri Markkanen, because everybody thought Lauri Markkanen was going to be that star. You know, when we traded for Jimmy Butler, when Jimmy Butler was a part of that trade in 2017, along with Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, and Chris Dunn. Everybody thought that Lauri Markkanen was going to be the next big thing. But when on the second or the third year started, Lauri Markkanen, he didn't take that jump, and he went all the way down. And Zach LaVine, he was starting to rise into that star. Like Zach LaVine's just started improving and improving and improving, and now he's become pretty much a borderline superstar. But like I said, you're gonna need that type of bench scoring option, that third or fourth scoring option, that's gonna help you get over the hump if you ever want to compete for a conference title or a championship title. That's with every team, you know. But I kind of want to go until 15 minutes. But the 3 things in order for a team to be a title contender is that at least you have to at least have at least one superstar. one or two superstars. And I feel like Zach LaVine, he's kind of on the border, even though he hasn't made the playoffs. I feel like Zach LaVine, he's kind of like a borderline superstar. He's kind of on that cusp. And then, of course, you got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, he's playing like at an MVP level. You have to have at least one or two superstars on your team if you want to compete for a championship. Number two, you have to have a good supporting cast. You have to have a good supporting cast of role players that's going to take the scoring load when your main core players are tired. When they have to go to the bench, you got to have your core players who's going to be like the number 3, number 4, number 5 scoring option on that bench, or the number 1 scoring option on that bench that's going to carry the load and kind of hold that team to a lead. Like if they're leading against an opponent, they have to hold that lead if you ever want to win a championship. And number three, you have to have good coaching. You have to have good coaching. And what I mean by good coaching, you're going to have a coach that's going to help your team be cohesive to create a chemistry, build a chemistry around that team, and build a certain identity around that team that's going to help that team stick to that identity. And when they stick to that identity, it's going to help them with their chemistry throughout the season. Billy Donovan, of course, he's more of like a defensive-minded type of head coach. Even though this team has kind of been not top 5 in offense, Billy Donovan has gotten this team to play with a certain identity. And that's more so of a defensive first team, even though they're top 5 in offense. And Billy Donovan has done a great job in getting players to buy in, especially with Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball has been playing like a first team defensive player, along with Alex Caruso, and it is carried on throughout the team. You see Zach LaVine playing defense. You see DeMar DeRozan playing defense. It's contagious. And plays like that, when you're making key defensive plays, especially during clutch moments, is going to help your team win a lot of games. And the fact that even with Lonzo Ball, when we signed and traded for Lonzo Ball, it was such a big help for our team. It really helped us. Even though Chris Dunn, he was kind of a good defensive player, at times he just kind of got burnt out, or he just got like scored on, torched on. But like when we brought in Lonzo Ball was just straight lockdown, straight locking down your best players. He would take on Kevin Durant. He would take on certain players and just lock them down. And it's really helped us to win a lot of games. So, guys, even though we're on this 8-game winning streak, I really got to see a lot from this Bulls team. I got to see them beat the Golden State Warriors. I got to see them how they do against Milwaukee Bucks. I got to see how they do against the Miami Heat, even though we're number 1. I'm happy that we're number 1. I'm glad we're 25-10, number 1. But I got to see more from this team before I can decide on calling them title contenders. And even after the All-Star break, it's not even the All-Star break yet. I still got to see more from this team before I could declare them title contenders. Even though, I'm a diehard Bulls fan. I'm a diehard Bulls fan to the day I die. I love it. I still got PTSD from the Derrick Rose era, and I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to get my hopes too high. Even though, with that whole 2012 season, I thought we were going to go all the way. And then when he had that torn ACL, I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't want to even get my hopes up. Even though I'm kind of enjoying the ride with them winning, I don't want to get my hopes up. I still got to see more from this team. I still got to see more. I still got to see how they're going to compete against the Milwaukee Bucks. I still got to see how they're going to compete with these top tier teams, before I can make them title contenders. But anyway, guys, I wanted to stop at 20 minutes, and so I kind of went over 20 minutes. But anyway, guys, this is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk, back at with another video. So stay tuned for more videos. I might make a video for the last main event podcast for the Chicago Bears versus Minnesota Vikings. So stay tuned for that. And I got other collaborations coming up, so stay tuned for that for this year. And I'm going to get new equipment. I'm going to get a new camera, new everything, so I can, do my thing. I can upgrade the background. I know this background is not all the best. I'm going to upgrade it for you guys. And 2022, man, is going to be a special, special year, man. One of my mottos for 2022 is staying focused. Stay focused, guys. You got to stay focused, man. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys. Help me, guys. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Share this video with your friends. Help me get to 100 subscribers. That's the goal. Help me get to 100 subscribers. And yeah, guys. You stay easy. And I hope you guys are having a happy new year. So stay safe and be easy. All right, guys. Peace.